the Cold Steel Templar X. You guys want to see a review on it. So here we are, and I've got some custom leopard wood grip panels to put in this. So here we are. Let's just get into the video. I'll show you guys the grips, and we'll throw the hell out of it in this video. Man, this thing is funky and odd. It is, I'm just being honest with you. But I do appreciate Luca, a member of the channel here, sending it to us here on Midgard Axe to throw and test. I probably would have never bought this on my own. What do you think, Dave? First impressions after we threw it? What's your overall impression of the Templar X?
I love the medieval design and the sharp pointy edges everywhere. You could say it's a bit of a Hellraiser.
I'll have to say that I really enjoyed it. But before we get into all that, let's just talk about the design a little bit before we get into how it flew and how well it stuck into the target. If you guys are interested, go over to Patreon. It's $1 a month. I'm going to drop a video on there on how I made these grip panels. Fairly easy. I think anybody out there could do them with very little effort. As long as you got a little bit of skill, you can do it. We use leopard wood. Went to my local woodcraft store, got the leopard wood grip panels, and just kind of designed it around the axe handle here, or the Templar X handle. Pretty easily to do, and took us about half a day to get everything done. I did epoxy them as well. So you can take the bolts in and out, but I wanted to secure them a little bit more than with just bolts. So there is that. Worked out really well. Now, as you know, there is one huge con with the Templar X, which is this handle design. There is a tapering from the axe head down to the knob. It tapers smaller and smaller and smaller. That's an issue for me, especially throwing for distance. I didn't really care for the way that it came. You needed to get a little bit more circumference around that Templar X handle to be able to throw different throws and be consistent and accurate with it. At least for me, I did. So that's why I went with those grip panels. Overall, once I put the grip panels on it, it flew completely different for me, especially at distance. It really did. So I really did enjoy that. As you can see here, we cut the spike off the knob because I wasn't going to have it cut in my hand. As I told you guys in the first impressions and unboxing on this, I utilize the knob on axes in my palm a certain way that it would have cut my hand all up. And I really don't get very many knob strikes anyway, so I took it off. It was just easier to deal with. And it was easier to make those grip panels without that spike down there at the knob. Overall impressions on throwing it. So I did wrap the handle because I didn't want to tear and mar the wood all up. I really did enjoy putting these grip panels on here, so I kind of just wrapped it up with some grip tape to secure the handle a little bit better, and really just to give me some grip and to prevent the wood from tearing all up. Great. The damn thing flew like a dream. It really did. I had such a good time throwing this. We got about 3.5 hours with it. But I will say that it's not as long as maybe like a 4 or 5 hour throwing session that I have sometimes. But the reason why is because you can literally stick it wherever you stand, especially if you leave a spike at the knob. I mean, I was sticking this thing with the spike on the back, I was sticking it with the spike on top, and I was sticking it with the bit, of course, the cutting edge. It just flew really well, especially up close at single rotations, doing crazy throws, getting nasty with it, because I told you guys I would. And I just tried to think of every throw that I could do that was realistic, that would stick into the target and cause damage if I was to use this that way. So I realistically, you know, give me a break.
It's like the Chronicles of John Wick around here.
Whatever, Dave. Call me a mall ninja all you want. I had a good time throwing it a single rotation. It flew really well. It really did. I didn't notice any difference when I was setting up to throw really hard at a single rotation and then trying to pull off my trick throws. They all felt exactly the same. Like I told you guys, the only real big con in this is the handle design. Now, when I designed these grip panels, there really wasn't much I could do with the sides here. I probably could have, but it would have taken way too long. I wanted to do something that would be fast, easy, and hold up. So when I designed these grip panels and put it on, it does give you a very weird feel, meaning that when you put it in your hand, you get a good feel from left to right, but from front to back, you have a little space. but it's better than it was when it first came to me without these grip panels, because there was just too much space in my hand to throw for distance. So it was a little odd throwing it with this grip panel design, but it was something that I overcame really fast and really easily, especially throwing for distance. I kind of just orientated my hand just a tad bit different than I normally do to orientate the back of this Templar X more into the back of my palm. So it's kind of like this. Instead of like this, I just kind of moved it around just a little bit, and it flew really well. I had no issues throwing this thing at distance. I mean, it was really quick. As soon as I adjusted my throw at single rotation, I knew going back to distance it was going to be the same thing. Adjusting my hand just a little bit, and I was able to throw it at triple rotations, double rotations, quadruple rotations. I mean, it was just smashing. Hitting hard, hitting clean. And I will say that when I got back really far and started throwing for, really far distance, I tried to utilize the spike on the top of this Templar X because it penetrates so nicely. And it did. It penetrated so nice into the target. And that's kind of what I utilized going back for distance when I went really far back, was using the spike on the top of this Hurlbat axe head, if you want to call it that. Because it stuck really well, it sunk into the target really well, and like I tell you guys, I do have a little bit of an over-rotation with some of my throws. So it was really easy to get the top of that spike to stick into the target at distance, and it was very, very accurate too, which I put to those grip panels. I do. I'm not tooting my own horn
I
here.
say blow the damn horn. Those grip panels are fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, we can take a little credit, but I'm just saying that I was very accurate, and I really set up trying to throw at a face level at distance, and guys, it was just repetitive. Over and over and over again. I think it was like 7 or 8 times just smashing at a face level at distance into the target. Very easy to do. And of course, we've got some throws that we threw, at bullseye level, but I was really trying to aim higher because I wanted to see how well that spike was going to stick, and we're eating the middle of my target out. So we got to start throwing at other areas too. So face level, being accurate with this thing at distance was really easy. And like I said, I attribute it to those grip panels. Now, as far as penetration with the Templar RX, man, this thing penetrates really nicely. It does. Now, I did thin the cheeks in the bit on the cutting edge here, but I didn't get it extremely thin. I left it a tad bit fatter than I normally do. And I had no issues at all sticking it into the target with the cutting edge. And with the spike on the back and on top of the axe head here, I left it kind of fat too. I didn't want to make it too thin, and I don't recommend making it too thin, because if you throw hard like I do, you will get the end of the tip breaking. It'll break. I can promise you that. I've gotten toes on cutting edges so thin that when I over rotate it, they either bend or snap. So that's why I left it a little thicker. It almost looks like a sword. The end of a sword, if you kind of look at it that way, it kind of looks like that. And it performed really nicely. It did. Penetration with the top of the spike here and the cutting edge was really nice. Now, of course, the back penetrated, but it kind of would smack the knob because it's, really close to the knob when it goes in. You don't have much distance. But, with the tip of the, spike at the top of the axe head going in, you have a lot sinking. So if I kind of look at it here and see where I was sinking at, I was sinking to somewhere about I'd say about right in here. Somewhere right in here. So you're looking at about 2 inches. I think I even sunk in a little deeper than that, kind of looking at the recess mark. I mean, I was sinking all the way to here sometimes, depending on where it hit in the wood target. Now, the cutting edge, it varied. I would get 1.5 inches. Sometimes I'd get 1 3/4 inches. But as you can see here, we've got some wood right in this area. Sometimes I was sinking all the way up to the spike with the cutting edge. So to here. So guys, you're talking about 2 inches. 2 inches, and I didn't even thin it down all that much. I mean, it's pretty thin, but it's not extremely thin. So this thing will penetrate into the target really nicely too. Something else I noticed when I was throwing it is that with the spikes on top and in the back, you don't have to throw it very hard either to get the spikes to sink into the target, which is nice too. You can kind of do some trick throws throwing it softer, and maybe practice some of those throws to get those spikes to stick in without having to throw it really hard, work on wrist control. The Templar RX is really good for that. I did throw this without the grip panels on it, and it flew fine at a single rotation. I just didn't like how it felt at distance. I felt that putting the grip panels on it would make a better flyer, and it totally did, guys. This thing is really fun, and I'm so glad that one of you sent it to me to review, because I probably, like I said, wouldn't have bought it on my own. This thing gives you something different than a lot of other axes or throwing axes or hatchets or whatever, tomahawks give you, which is a little bit more room to be able to run around and throw kind of wherever you want to throw at, and you'll get it to stick, especially if you leave the spike on the knob here. Overall, first impressions and throwing it, I think it's really cool. For like $30-some. I think you should probably get it. Something unique, something crazy, maybe outside of a normal traditional hatchet or axe that you can take outside, have a lot of fun with, and throw. And I think that if you put a little time and effort with the grips, whether you do your own grip panels or maybe redesign that grip a little differently, I think it'd fly even better for you, and you'd have way better time throwing it. Steel held up, everything held up. I didn't get any edge rollover, nothing broke or anything like that, and these grip panels pretty much held up. On the edges here, we did get some chipping. I left them a little too sharp. I should have rounded them over a little bit better. And we did get a little bit of breakage down here at the knob. That's my design fault. I should have ran the bolt a little higher to give the wood a little bit more protection, instead of putting a hole so close to the end of the wood like a hole in a knob on a chopping axe handle. You know, those split really easily when you throw them. But other than that, these grip panels held up. The leopard wood is really good too. It's got a hardness scale of a little bit more than hickory, and it performed. I beat the hell out of them, and nothing cracked or anything other than that knob. Kind of went in and hit the target like this, I think, and then went back in, and it kind of cracked a little bit down there, but it stopped. Where the bolt's at, I can still keep throwing it, and that's exactly what I'm going to do with the Templar X. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think of it. If it's something that you would get, or if you have one, put it in the comment section. Let everybody know how you enjoy throwing yours, or if you don't like throwing it. I'm curious to know. Thanks for all the support, guys. I really appreciate it, and I hope you enjoyed the video. And remember, as always, for the love of these axes, hatchets, tomahawks, and weird things. But until next time, see ya.
Dave thinks I'm crazy, but you got to get crazy with these axes, right? I mean, you just got to. I mean, it's just kind of the... What are y'all doing down there?